Today, let's look at a complete inventory management solution from end to end, built 100% in Power Platform, right? It's got model-driven apps, it's got Canvas apps, it's got a mobile app, it's got a barcode scanner, it has a Power Automate flow that calls a third-party API to get stuff, it has AI prompts in there, it has Copilot Studio agent, it has the whole platform as one big giant story, so you guys can see like what this really looks like. And remember, because it's all built in this low code, no code thing, I just kind of built this thing on the side over the last couple of weeks. I mean, not long, but you get the idea. Like, it's super powerful. So let's just dive in and show you all the fun that I had. Step one, you can't order inventory if you don't have vendors to buy it from, right? So the first thing I built here was a model-driven app for my vendor management. Now you're thinking, Shane, that looks really pretty for a vendor management app inside of model-driven apps. I know, good job. No. So what we're going to do is we used generative pages to do this, but you can see that like it has all the robustness you need, right? This is my little guy for sprinkling AI on things, but we've got all the vendor details here. You know, if we say edit, we can update this to, you know, Bob the Builder. And then we say save, and then it's saved. So yes, this is a generative page. Yes, it's actually running, you know, code underneath the hood. But no, I didn't write any pro code. I went into the little wizard. I kind of said, hey, I want this, I want that. Boom, it spit it out. We iterated a few times and we got what you see here. Also, like if you go here to classic vendor view, you can't see the traditional, you know, model driven stuff is here. So if you didn't want the flare, right? Like, you know, there's the Butler vendor. So all the things that you would expect here. So you could build yourself, you know, it was a regular model driven app. So we took the regular model driven app and we put some generative AI on top of it to make it look nicer. Okay. So now that we had vendors, we wanted the ability to, you know, go in and order items. So to do that, we built a Canvas app. So I'll switch over to that. And so this, right, is our inventory ordering system, complete Canvas app. And so with this particular one, right here, thinking, Shane, that homepage looks kind of pretty for you. I know. So we talked a little bit about how I used large language model like Copilot to help me not build this, but to come up with a design, come up with the image you see there, edit it, right? So to make it look a little nicer, we talk a little bit about how we use AI for that. But here, if we go in, right, we have things like create a new order. And so if we're like, hey, I want to order new access points, and then we'll give it a reason. I'm doing a demo. Our vendor will say Dell, and then we say add items. And then we get this, you know, editable grid experience down here. The items are just the ones that are available to Dell, right? Because we can only order from one vendor, right? One purchase order can only go to one vendor at a time. And so, you know, we'll do some access points here. We'll get 3 of those, save. You know what? And we'll get myself a new laptop while we're at it as well. You know, I know the order was only supposed to be for the one, but it doesn't matter. So this is very indicative, right? We built a system just like this for a large construction company a long time ago. And so I just kind of took their same concept, this, you know, ordering from vendors, and did. Now I can save it for later if I want. So I can save drafts and come back to it because sometimes you don't have all the info. You're not ready to do it. We could add an approval process into the mix if we wanted to. But for me right now, basically I come in here, I order stuff, and then we hit submit order. And that's going to do a couple of things, right? We'll hit submit order, let it start running. But basically submit order is going to save, right, the parent data and then all the child data, right? So we have a parent-child data relationship there. And then it is generating a purchase order, like an actual PDF purchase order, and then it is emailing that directly to our vendor. So then that way they're like, ah, cool, I have your purchase order now. And let me open that real quick. And so there you go. You can see there's our purchase order. It's nothing elaborate. Purchase orders never are, right? We throw a logo in there, the information, what we're ordering. And of course, this is just being attached to an email and sent straight to our vendor. Now, once again, this is something I know how to do. Like I know how to write the HTML to make it look like this, but we talk in the class about how we use a large language model. Poof, and it made this HTML PDF for me in like seconds, which would have taken me an hour. It did it in seconds, so it's a nice little savings. And we'll talk about how I gave it just the raw code and let it turn that into it. It's very cool. So it was a new thing I'd never done before. All right, back to our app. So then, of course, over here in my app, you know, I have a My Order screen, you know, so if I want to flip through the different orders. And then we also have the ability to manage items, right? So the things that we can order from different vendors. Now, what's really cool about this one is I went ahead and, you know, kind of made it neat from the standpoint that if you go here to add an item, add from an online catalog. So when I click this, it is running a Power Automate Cloud flow to hit my vendor's API right? It's hitting a real API, it's a test API. And it is then pulling back from that API just the computer equipment that is available. And so then those are all there. And if I'm like, oh yeah, I want to be able to order an iPad mini 2021 Starlight. I don't even know what iPad mini Starlight is, but whatever, it doesn't matter, right? If we hit the plus here, then look, it went ahead, where is it? There it is. It added that into the list of items. So the user didn't have to copy and paste. They didn't have to go to the catalog and find things. Like the API does all the hard work. So that gave us a chance to introduce calling APIs, parsing JSON, and we do a lot of the parsing actually over in the PowerApps side because it's harder there, but it gives us more learning opportunities. So sometimes I throw little curveballs in there. And also, if you're looking at this, you're thinking, wow, Shane, this class sounds great. I agree. Go over to training.poweraapps911.com. The live class is available there. I am teaching it in May. And so you can sign up, join the class, or you can get our all access subscription to get access to all of my classes. But the students will get this full working solution. And then we're going to start with a blank white screen. We're going to build everything that you see here interactively with the students. So if they're like, you know what, we want this to, instead of you use the form, Shane, we want this to use individual controls with patch, then we will be able to switch. So the idea is the class is just a live, I don't have a script for it. I just start with blank screens and we try to build an approximation of this. So anyway, if that sounds fun, go to training.poweraapps911.com. And speaking of going over, now that we've got our order, right, we've got our items, we're happy with this. Now the thing's going to come back to us, right? The items are going to get shipped to us. And so we're going to get, a packing slip. And we need a way to take the packing slip and, get the items in. But not only do we need the packing slip, but we're also going to talk about putting asset tags on all of those items as well, right? So to do that, we jump over here to our next app, all right? So here on my actual phone, right, I'm sharing my phone to the computer, but I'm on my phone. All right, we're gonna go to the test order receiving, the cute little puppies. They're gonna learn about how I made all those too. Okay, so now we have the mobile app, right? Because when you're receiving inventory, you don't wanna be on a computer, you're at the dock, you're in the storeroom, whatever, right? So we're just gonna hit start. And it's like, all right, well, what packing slip do you wanna do? So we'll say this, and we'll say take a photo. And just like that, we will take the photo, looks great, and use the photo. And of course, we're gonna talk a little bit more about like torn up photos, handwritten, like all that still works, just it all works fine, right? But for this one, we want to make this simple. So there you go. I'm going to press process. The puppies are going to work on it. Yes, I'm a dork. It's okay. But basically what's happening is it's taking that image, it's giving it to an AI prompt. It is extracting the data that we've told it to. And remember, this is going to work on any packing slip, as long as they follow a normal-ish format. And so then that pulls back the order number and then all the assets. I also see that I forgot to make this screen look prettier. Pretend the screen looks prettier, right? The app's a work in progress. But so what's cool then there is you can see I have a gallery of all the items that were extracted from the order. And so then now if I'm like, hey, I want to scan the asset, right? So I see the serial number 742798 for the laptop, and I throw an asset tag on it, and then I'm going to say scan asset, click that blue button, and then the barcode scanner comes up, and then I will just say boom, and look at that. It is scanned in the asset tag. So then I would need to work through all of these, right? But for each one, I would just kind of do it. And once again, I have just this giant sheet because I don't want to actually put the stickers on stuff, but you hopefully get the idea that I would have put the sticker on the actual laptop and done it. And so give me a second, I'll finish this real quick. Okay, I did that, right? And I could have also turned on auto scan, which probably would have made that go a little faster. Anyway, now the finished button lights up. And so I press that, the puppies go and work on it some more. And basically what it did was it then took all of those items, it created them not in the order table, but it went and created them in the inventory table and set their statuses all to available, right? Because they're all now available in the inventory system. And so puppies are all done, boom, right? Because that's the whole idea. This is just a quick busted, boop, 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 boop. We've received and tagged all of our inventory. Now for the final piece of the puzzle, it was a question of, all right, how do I want to interact with this? So I could have built a Power App to do it again, right? Which is probably more typical of what we've seen. That's what my customer did. But I was like, you know what? We're showing off the Power Platform here. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump back over here and go to a Copilot Studio agent that I actually built, right? So I built it in Copilot Studio. Let's just go look at it in M365 Copilot. So if we go here to the agent store and we search for test inventory, there is the test inventory agent, and we will open this up right here inside of M365. And now the user can just chat to find out what's available, find out about order information, and even get the item, right? So let's just go ahead and say, are there any unified access points available? So we're going to do this. Underneath the hood, the agent, right, Copilot Studio agent is going in, following its instructions, finding the knowledge, and it's looking up against the Dataverse tables where I've told it that information is, looking for just the ones that are marked as available. And look at that, there's my list of assets. And yes, there was a slight hiccup in the middle there because someone named Buddy was busy barking. And so I had to go get him. But anyway, I just reran the query so you could see it. And so there you go. So there is all of the different ones. And if we wanted to, ask for information like what order it came in, which ones are most recent, all that, we don't really care. But then now we can go down here and we could just say something like, yes, I want one. And so then now what it's doing is, so that the first query was using knowledge to go and look in the Dataverse tables and find the available ones. And so then now it's going to, if it's in the right mood, there guys, scroll down. It's now taking the, yes, I want one. And so it's going to use a Dataverse tool to grab that data or go and update that record to mark it as mine. At that point, we could click off a workflow, whether once again, maybe we want an approval, maybe we want to put it in the queue for someone to go deliver it to me, whatever we want. But the idea here is that, we've kind of built an agent to allow the users just to talk about inventory, because a lot of times that's what they want to do, and then do it. And more importantly, especially for the sake of what I was trying to accomplish here, it shows you the full power of the Power Platform, right? So we got model-driven apps, Canvas apps, Power Automate, Copilot Studio, all working together against the same data to build a truly custom solution for you and I that allows us to really be like, hey, wow, I have a completely, bespoke. Oh, I love that word. I hate that word, but I love that word. A bespoke solution for us. So questions, comments, leave them below, right? If you've seen anything, if you built anything like this, someone the other day was really surprised that we've built, a lot of these type of solutions for customers. We built an entire CRM system connected to QuickBooks for ourselves, right? Our whole business is ran on top of that. Building these custom, 100% focused on your business solutions. That's really the beauty of Power Platform. And that's the whole idea of showing you this. And then, of course, the course where we're going to talk to people how we built all this so they can build it for themselves. All right, with that, I'm going to say thanks and have a great day.